That evening, Han Chong's father went to see the sixth master. Learning that the villagers would never let Han Chong turn himself in the next day, they would use every means possible to hush the matter up. Consequently, the usually taciturn father made a startling decision. He walked out of the mountains overnight, called the police, choosing the law to counter the village's distorted customs. This was the last thing he could do for his son and Hong Xie, and the only right thing to do. Early the next morning, a brutal scene unfolded anyway. Qin Hua led a group of women to the house to smash things and hurl insults, forcing Hong Xie to leave. Meanwhile, Han Chong was held back by the village men, preventing him from turning himself in. Watching Hong Xie being bullied by the mob finally shattered his last shred of sanity. Like a frenzied beast, he broke free from his restraints and rushed over, knocking the men down one by one with his fists. Then he grabbed a wooden stick and shielded Hong Xie behind him, standing his ground against the whole village. Just as the situation was about to spiral out of control, police sirens wailed in the distance. The story takes a shocking turn here. While the police were taking Han Chong to identify the scene, Hong Xie was already waiting. He stood there holding that agreement, which had several glaring words written on it. "I killed him." Han Chong rushed over like a madman, snatched the paper and shoved it into his mouth to swallow it. But it was too late. Hong Xie confessed the whole truth to the police. It turned out Le Hong's death was no accident but a revenge she had meticulously planned. She had long noticed Han Chong's habit of burying detonators in the mountains, so she picked some red berries for her daughter and had the innocent girl pester Le Hong to go up the mountain to pick more for her. Doting on his daughter, Le Hong didn't think twice, went up the hill and walked right into the trap. When Le Hong was carried home, he saw the look of vindication in Hong Xie's eyes and realized he had been set up, which was why he threw the axe at her. After the villagers left the dying Le Hong was not yet dead. It was Hong Xie who smothered him with her own hands, ensuring he would never rise again. She could have gotten away with it, but Han Chong's presence made her feel what it's like to love and be loved. She refused to let this man who was willing to defy the whole world for her take the blame for her crime. So that night she confessed everything to Han Chong and decided to face the consequences herself. But Han Chong insisted on taking the fall for her. This twist is the soul of the story, shattering our previous perception of Hong Xie as merely a victim. How should we view her actions? Legally speaking, it was premeditated murder, but from a human perspective it feels more like an act of self-defense. It was a desperate act of self-salvation by someone driven to the edge. The film presents us with a profound dilemma here. When the law fails to provide protection, does an individual's act of countering violence with violence hold some measure of justice? In the end, Hong Xie is placed in cold handcuffs. She entrusts her two children to Han Chong's father, and then kneels to perform a silent kowtow. Locked inside the car, Han Chong watches helplessly as the woman he loves is taken away. He thrashes against the car door like a madman, screaming until his voice goes hoarse. Once released, he chases after the departing police car like a man possessed, only to collapse in the dust, weeping like a child. A love bought with life and freedom finally comes to a harrowing end. At the film's conclusion, the scene returns to the day after Le Hong's death. Hong Xie runs to the mountain peak alone. She wants to be like the villagers, shouting into the empty valley to vent years of suppressed suffering. But her past trauma leaves her unable to make a sound. So she grabs a discarded iron basin and with all her might beats it frantically. Those piercing strikes penetrate the silence of the mountains. Echoing far and wide, it isn't mere noise. It is her cry of regained freedom, her most defiant struggle against an unjust fate. Many don't know that this film is adapted from the novel of the same name by female writer Ji Shiping. The novel was a recipient of the Liu Xun Literature Prize. Director Larry Yang spent a long time immersing himself in local life to make this film, seeking to capture a raw sense of isolation. To portray the mute protagonist effectively, lead actress Lang Yuting engaged in extensive observation and practice. Her performance relies entirely on her eyes and body language, an immense challenge. Yet her execution was flawless. Her silence carries more power than 1,000 lines of dialogue. The ending of Mountain Cry seems tragic as Hong Xie is led away, but I prefer to see it as a rebirth. Though she lost her freedom, she reclaimed her dignity. She protected her loved one and brought her painful past to a close. She could finally stop living in fear and step into the light. The power of this film lies in its raw realism and complexity. It offers no easy answers, but instead poses profound questions to us all. It makes us believe that even in the deepest darkness, the spark of humanity and the power of love can still carve out a ray of light. Those echoes that resonated through the Taihang Mountains are actually asking every one of us when injustice strikes. Will you choose silence or will you cry out?